All right. Next up on the show is Gaius from North Royalton, Ohio. Guys, how you doing?
I am doing excellent, Jeb. How are you
Awesome.
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's a good day to spend some time with some sales folks like you. Tell me what's happening in your world.
Well, Jeb, first of all, I wanted to thank you for your work. Thank you for especially for your book, Fanatical Prospecting. I have it right here on my desk. It's an inspiring book, very helpful.
Well, thank you so much for reading it. I appreciate that.
We had everybody in the company read it.
Wow.
That's how much we believed in it, man. It was a game changer for us. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Very good. Thank
God
you
bless
so much. I'm truly grateful.
Jeb, we are a property and casualty insurance agency. Our agents primarily work from home remotely. And my question, actually two questions that I had. We want to essentially hire sales agents in classes of 4 agents at a time. These are new agents to the industry. And what recommendations would you have for helping them start their lead generation activities? And whatever specific examples from your experience that you could share, that would be great. And I have a follow-up question to the first one. How do we blend our company's marketing efforts with the individual agent's prospecting efforts?
Okay, good. I'll get you to remind me of the second question as we move forward if I forget that one. That's a great question. Really good question. Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So you're bringing in new agents and you're hiring them, bringing them in as classes of 4, so they're going through training together.
Yes.
And how long is the training?
3 to 4 months approximately.
Okay.
And they're new to the industry, so they just got licensed before they started working with us.
They got a license. They're training. They're straight commission.
No,
No,
base plus salary.
Base
They're
plus salary.
W2.
And are you want them to begin building pipeline as soon as they get there, or is there a period of time where you don't want them building any pipe?
We want them to build their pipelines sooner rather than later, but we realize there's quite a bit of training incurred that needs to take place. So we want to find that right balance. Maybe after a couple months, they can start working on their pipeline.
What's the easiest thing for them to sell?
Auto and home.
Okay, auto
and that's
home.
what they're going to be focusing primarily on.
And so primarily B2C, auto and home.
Correct.
Okay, how much training would you have to give me to be able to go have a conversation with a person who has a house and a car and sell home and auto insurance?
As I said, between 3 to 4 months.
Really? I would take 3 to 4 months for me to go sell. I mean, I have a house and a home and I have insurance, and I talk to my agent. I'm trying to figure out how complicated that really is just to go sell house and home.
Well, you have to know the guidelines. You have to know your carriers. We don't want to rush people into it, because what happens if they don't master the knowledge of the carriers, the underwriting guidelines,
right,
their confidence level just tanks when they're in front of the client, right? So they could technically do it in a month or 2, but their confidence level is not where it needs to be.
Okay, gotcha. So you deal with a lot of carriers.
Yes.
They need to be able to recommend the right carrier for that homeowner, the person owns auto, based on what they're learning as they're having a conversation with them. And they need to understand the underwriting rules so that they don't put deals in the pipe and then they get back, hey, we're not going to cover this particular homeowner. So then they've inconvenienced the homeowner. They're inconveniencing themselves. They're losing deals along the way. They lose their confidence and everything falls apart.
Correct. We don't want to be penny wise and dollar foolish, especially up front.
Quick story. And so I'm trying to understand this message, but I was working with a company and they were taking like 6 weeks to train people and they wanted to move faster. So they wanted people selling faster, building pipe faster. And I challenged them that I thought they could do it faster if they could just get people selling earlier. And they said, well, they need to have all this information because if they don't, then we got problems and they get their heart broken. And I said, okay, well, I've never sold your product before, but I'll do this for you. I'll work in your business for a week as a salesperson. I don't know anything about this at all. And at the end of the week, let's talk about what I've learned and whether or not it makes sense for you to change what you're doing. Well, by the end of the week, I'm the number 1 salesperson in the company and I don't know anything about it. But here's what I did. I'm really good at having conversations with people. I mean, I can call people, talk to them, get them in. I didn't know a lot about the company's product. I didn't really understand, what they were doing, and I could seriously make some mistakes. But there were a lot of people in that company. So when I got someone on the hook, I just went and got someone who was experienced to help me. And I would say, hey, I've got this person. Here's the situation. what do I do? And they would jump in and help me. Now, by the end of the week, I knew a whole lot more about the product, and I probably needed 3 or 4 more weeks of learning so that I could do it on my own. But what I was good at was getting someone into the pipe. And once I got them into the pipe, there were other people that could help me. Now, I'll move you forward into my business. Crazy as it sounds, Sales Gravy, we're a sales training company. But if you look at the array of products that we sell and the different businesses we sell to, it's almost impossible for someone to really understand it. I would argue that it takes years for a person to come in and be able to have a conversation with a customer and map a solution to them based on where they are, knowing everything we've got. But we still got to bring people in. So what we say to our folks is, you get them on the hook, like you bring them in and get them interested. We will help you sell it, right? And we have this motto in our company called "Sell as a team." So we'll help you sell it, because the whole point is, if I've got someone and it's taken them like 9 months to sell anything, that to me is way more heartbreaking than if I can get them a win early because we all jump in and help them. And the fact that we're jumping in and helping them, that's how they begin to learn, because now they're actually experiencing it in real life versus in a book. Now, I don't know how that works for your business, but my point here is that my second answer, how do you get them to start building their pipe earlier, is they have to start building pipe earlier. But if they're building pipe and they call someone and the person says, "Hey, yeah, I want to learn more about this," and they don't know how to sell it, if they can't bring someone in to help them, there's no reason for them to do any pipeline building until you say it's ready for them to go. And now they're 2-3 months into the job. You've paid them a salary for 2 or 3 months. And the hardest thing that they're going to do is go out and prospect. So you're basically you're having to wind them up at that point versus bring them in, get them acclimated, and like every day, like for the first month, give them a list of 5 leads to call and have them call those leads. And even if they just set an appointment for one of your veteran agents who brought them in and took them along on the call, throw them a spiff if you close it. Like, I'm going to pay a commission on it, but you're going to start getting this going. That process, they can begin to at least build pipe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
sure.
That's how you can go faster. It's hard work, because as leaders, like, you've got to build a culture that's willing to do that for them. But I can tell you from experience, and like, one of our wheelhouses as an organization at Sales Gravy is we're freaking good at helping companies improve their sales onboarding. Like, we take companies that are taking a year to onboard people, and we solve the problem in 90 days. We took a company recently, a software company out in the Silicon Valley, and it was taking them 90 days to get new SDRs up to speed. We were able to do it in 10 days, like outselling the people that were veterans. And all it was understanding that we need to teach people the things that they need to know, when they need to know it, as soon as they need to know it. But the number one thing they need to do is start building pipe. So I would just suggest that look at what you could do in your system to get them prospecting earlier. And obviously, if they're going into PNC, they're going to talk to other friends and family and have conversations with them. How you can make sure that there's some reward for them for doing it, but then pair them with veteran agents who can also benefit for bringing them along. But these people are learning how to have the conversations, ask the questions, learn the things that they don't know. And it's a heck of a lot easier for you. I'm imagining for you, if a person comes in and says, "Hey, boss, I'm dealing with a customer. Here's the situation. Here's what's happening. What do I do?" In a situation like that, like, you can like really teach them what to do versus a hypothetical situation. But that leads me into the second question, which is, how do you marry their efforts with your marketing efforts?
Correct.
So,
and an idea of building the pipe for someone brand new.
So first of all, what I would say to you is, you get new people, you're going to have to, as a business, provide them with some prospects to call. These could be close lost deals. These could be not your Glengarry leads. These are the worst leads. Give them the things that nobody can sell. Have them go out and build their own list. But at the same time, what are they doing to build out their personal brand on social media? They're building out their relationships in the marketplace. So you start thinking about, what are your top agents doing to create the awareness that they're out there, and start taking those practices and put them into a playbook. So if I got somebody who's brand new coming on, I need to be able to say, I need you to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Whether it's like, especially with PNC, since they're in a B2C space, they're probably going to be on Meta and TikTok and things like that. You've got regulatory issues that you have to deal with. So you have to teach them to be compliant. But I would not waste a day giving them training on here's what you need to do. And then I would begin setting up like almost metrics around it. Like, what are you doing every single day to create awareness that this is who you are, this is what you're doing? I don't have time to like get into like a pure, a full marketing campaign, but how are they introducing themselves to all of their family and friends? Like one of the biggest issues that I see with people that are in B2C is that they think that their family and friends know what they're doing. I mean, they have this like, they believe that everybody suddenly gets it.
Right.
But if you don't tell your family and friends often what you do, you wake up one day and you're, at a family reunion and Uncle Joe goes, yeah, I just had a friend who's getting some auto insurance. I sent him over to my buddy. And you're like, what? Why did you, I'm your nephew. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And Uncle Joe goes, oh, I forgot that you did that. So like giving them those mechanisms for individual marketing essentially, and that should be paired with what you're doing as an agency. You should be able, or a brokerage, and you should be able to give them assets that they can use. A lot of these people are probably not coming in and they're like, I use social media as the easiest way for them to get in touch with people, but they're not used to doing that. Think about what are they doing to network in their community. And I would set up, expectations that you're going to go to some of these networking events. Like you're going to go to your Chamber of Commerce networking event or wherever your top agents are hanging out. These are expectations, and you're going to come back and report about what you found out, what you learned, and make that part of your onboarding process over 3 months with clear milestones about what you're expecting from them. I mean, you're paying them a salary, so you can tell them what you want them to do. So
Sure.
I would meld those two things together, and then make sure that your marketing team has the expertise to guide and train and coach and lead that process with them. So all of the onus isn't on your shoulders or the shoulders of your leaders. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's absolutely crucial that they're doing that. But I would say you pair that work with actually talking with people and having conversations, and then have a team selling focus where if they get somebody on the hook, we're not letting them go out there all by themselves and fail. That you're absolutely right about that. If you break their soul in the process of bringing them on board, they're not going to be very good salespeople. So if you do all that together, what'll happen is you can accelerate ramp up. And if you accelerate ramp up, if you get them selling faster, Katie bar the door, it will change your entire business.
I love it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks
for your wisdom. God bless you. Carry on.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to click like and subscribe so you never miss a single video. And if you want more sales training content, go to learn.salesgravy.com.